So you're hopping on sales calls. That's great. You've got a lot of activity, a lot of calls, a lot of going back and forth. People are responding to your emails, and yet you look at your bank account and all you see is a big zero. What's going on? Why aren't people buying? Well, the answer might surprise you. We recently hired a team to do our YouTube advertising. Now, the buying process for this and how we bought YouTube advertising might make a video in itself, but the way that we looked at it was we knew we needed YouTube advertising. We were ready to pay for YouTube advertising. We met with 3 or 4 different agencies to find one that was competent and that understood our project. And then we paid for one. Now, let's assume that 3 of the 4 would have done a great job with our YouTube ads. So why did we go with one and not the other 2? And the answer is closing questions. That one that we signed up with asked for the money. That was the only difference. They were a little bit more aggressive on the close and they got the business. Now, we can all learn from that. And in today's video, I want to give you 5 different closing questions that you can use to actually close more business. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Learn how to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and take your company to the next level at email10k.com. They're gonna go from softest to hardest, easiest to say to hardest to say, because I know when we're starting with sales, it's a little nerve-wracking to ask for the money, so let's go in reverse order. The ones later on work better than these ones, but these early ones are good to test. If you're not closing at all, just start with these first ones and work from there. Number 1 is, would you like my help? So this is at the end of the call, you're talking about their project, you understand what they want, they understand what you do, and then you end the call with, would you like my help? If they say yes, then the next step is to ask them to fill out the payment form or to say you're gonna send the contract over, etc. The deal is now moving forward versus how beginner sales calls end, which is they might just peter off. Like, okay, all right, no next step, no nothing. Instead, say, would you like my help? And that's usually all you need. And then if you need to send a quote or a contract, you can do that after that conversation is had. But it really is better to have discussed price before this. And if you want the entire sales process, I would really jump in Email 10K because it goes over exactly how to do this, especially if you're a beginner salesman and haven't closed any deals. This course will get you your first $1,000, $10,000 and beyond. The second one is, great, what happens next? This is another phrase that puts it in the client's court because this is low confidence, right? You're just starting out, ask them what happens next. You let the customer drive, and normally from here, they'll set you up from the close. They'll say, well, if you have a contract, you can send it over and we can get this going. Or they might even say, do you have a credit card form? Keep in mind, your customers are on this journey to hire somebody and buy. They want somebody to show their value and to sell them. This does not need to be hard. They want to pay you. Make it as easy as possible for them to pay you and you'll make money. That's it. The third one is a little bit more advanced, and that phrase is, ready to move forward? I can send over the contract right now, okay? And if they say yes, then you're good to go. You send over the contract. And if they say no, then you can ask them why and keep working through their objections. They need to think about it. They need to talk to their co-founder. All right, let's get your co-founder on a call. They need to think about it. How long do you need to think about it for? Is there any other information I can provide you with? Just work through what they say. By the way, I need to think about it just means you didn't get your value across to them in the right way. So keep talking about more case studies and give them a little bit of fear of missing out, plus put an expiration date on the price, and that should be enough to break through that one. The fourth one is, if I send over the contract now, can you sign today? And if they say yes, then this allows you to use one of my favorite follow-ups. I actually just used this one a couple minutes ago. It is, I have your word that you're signing today by 6 p.m., right? Nobody wants to break their word. So I love the phrasing of that as an email after the call because they did give you their word that they're signing today. So they'll either give you an excuse as to why they can't sign today or they will just pay for it. And that works amazingly well. That's one of my favorite follow-ups. The fifth one is, awesome. Let me get your deposit now and I'll bill you for the full amount once the contract's signed. I like this one because you're either writing down their credit card info or getting them onto Stripe where they can put their card in by themselves and you're getting money now. Even if you're selling a $100,000 app, if they're gonna be putting it on a card, you can get that card in your system and charge them a $50 deposit, a $1,000 deposit, whatever it is. They don't need to sign the contract to pay for that. And now their card is in the system. which makes them even more committed. It makes them way less likely to back out on the contract, even if they've given you something small like $50. They'll sign the contract and you get money up front, which pays for your time on the sales call right away. So that's my favorite one, is try to get a deposit on the phone. Regardless of the amount of money of the deposit, just get their credit card into your system. So then when they do sign a bigger contract, you can just move them up, and it's much, much easier to move them at that point. And the big thing to keep in mind is the first salesperson that matches the criteria and makes the sale easy is the one who gets the business. So if your team is skilled, all you need to do is ask for the business more often and you'll get the business. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. So you don't have a business idea, huh? Do you want to know what the best business to start is, regardless of market conditions? Check out the free presentation at email10k.com. We have over 200 students that are crushing it using this business strategy, even during this time. So check that out, email10k.com. Like this video to encourage the YouTube algorithm, smash that like button. Subscribe for more content like this. We do videos 3 times a week all about sales, motivation, and how to grow your company. And leave a comment down below. How did these work for you? Use them on your sales calls, make a little bit of cash, report back on this video. And if you know a friend that would get value from this, feel free to send it their way. That really helps the community, really helps the channel, and makes you look like you're connected and you have all the info. So share it along. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.